So, who is this David Naiditch character anyway? As we shall see, David has many hidden talents, often so well hidden that even David has trouble finding them.
David's interests cover philosophy, technology, humor, architecture, music, art, mathematics, and science. Let's start with David's music.
David's musical journey began in the 1960s at the Ash Grove on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, where he discovered traditional folk music and blues. After hearing country blues harmonica player Sonny Terry, David was hooked. He took private lessons from Sonny and learned many of his tunes.
While in high school, David joined the blues band The Bunch, which played at venues including Pasadena's Ice House in 1966. Over the years, he performed at various holes in the wall in Southern California, like the Ash Grove, McCabe's Guitar Shop, Boulevard Music, and the Coffee Gallery backstage, plus bluegrass, gypsy jazz, and harmonica festivals across the country. David started on the common 10-hole blues harp, which comes in every key. In the mid-90s, David switched to the chromatic harmonica. He honed his skills at jams and gigs armed with only a chromatic in the key of C. Played well, the chromatic produces a sweet, fiddle-like tone and handles fast, intricate melodies. And because David plays in every key on a C chromatic, he navigates tricky chord and key changes without swapping instruments. Because the chromatic supplies every note without bending or overblowing, the player, not the instrument, controls each note's tone and timbre. David often keeps a consistent tone and timbre throughout a tune. Though David spent his career as a math and computer instructor and an aerospace engineer, he still found time to play at music venues across the United States. David especially enjoys jamming at music festivals and conventions. David also hosted many jams at his home in Southern California. Some can be heard on David Naiditch's YouTube channel. In 1996, David hosted a Da Camera Society house concert featuring the LA Guitar Quartet. It was so much fun that he began hosting his own concerts. As this sample list shows, David booked some of the world's finest musicians. As is typical of house concerts, all attendee donations went to the performers. David's favorite music to play is bluegrass and gypsy jazz instrumentals. Classic bluegrass took shape in 1945 when banjoist Earl Scruggs joined Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. Gypsy jazz began with the Quintet of the Hot Club of France, founded in 1934 by guitarist Django Reinhardt and violinist Stéphane Grappelli. Since 2005, David has released 7 instrumental albums featuring top bluegrass and swing musicians, including Sierra Hull, Stuart Duncan, Jake Workman, Rob Ickes, Pat Cloud, David Greer, Josko Stephan, Jason Anick, Gonzalo Bergara, and Richard Smith. You can hear David's music on his YouTube channel. David has posted over 100 YouTube music videos, some live, but most slideshows set to music from his albums. He also posted a humorous 31-minute video on the plight of harmonica players. Don't Get No Respect, on his Facebook page and YouTube channel, The Naiditch Report. In addition to his music, David is known for his humor. David's public Facebook profile features his humorous posts along with photos and videos of his personal adventures. He also runs a Facebook page for STEM humor, jokes about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Here are a few examples of David's STEM humor. David also has a Facebook page devoted to music humor. Here are a few examples of David's music humor posts.
In addition to being a musician and humorist, David is an artist. David carved wood sculptures entirely by hand, using chisels, rasps, and sandpaper. In addition to carving wood sculptures, David sculpted with clay. He also created acrylic and oil paintings. David also created images with computer paint programs. David holds a bachelor's degree in mathematics from UCLA. He taught math and computer science for about 7 years, then worked as an aerospace engineer for 34. On his Facebook page and YouTube channel, The Naiditch Report, the video, Don't Get Your Goat, tackles the Monty Hall problem, a deceptively simple but counterintuitive puzzle that almost everyone gets wrong. It recounts how Marilyn Vos Savant, once holder of the world's highest IQ, sparked a media storm by publishing the problem in her Ask Marilyn column in Parade magazine. She received over 10,000 responses, nearly all vehemently disagreeing with her answer, which proved correct. The Naiditch Report also features a video on 13 common misunderstandings about the Big Bang Theory. Many of these misunderstandings stem from assuming that the Big Bang was an explosion in space rather than the rapid expansion of space itself. David has written articles and books on science, technology, computer programming, and philosophy, including 2 books on the Ada programming language published by John Wiley & Sons. For Skeptic magazine, David reviewed Stephen Wolfram's A New Kind of Science and wrote about Alaska's High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, a magnet for conspiracy theorists. He also authored a technical report on choosing the right programming language for a project. For many years, David lectured on science and technology breakthroughs at aerospace companies and universities. Through the Skeptic Society, David hosted many science lectures, including ones by cosmologist Lawrence Krauss and the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Kip Thorne. David holds a master's degree in philosophy from UC Santa Barbara. In 2000, Skeptic magazine published David's article, The Meaning of Life, a Philosophical Dialogue. A 34-minute video, based on the article, is on his Facebook page and YouTube channel, The Naiditch Report. It's a lively dialogue between a theist and an atheist on the meaning of life, drawing on thinkers such as Robert Nozick, Bertrand Russell, Viktor Frankl, Douglas Adams, Milton Mayeroff, Arthur C. Clarke, Clarence Darrow, and Carl Sagan. David is a passionate follower of modern architecture. He took many architecture tours featuring architects such as those listed above. These images show Ed Niles' Sidley residence, one of the most unusual homes ever built. These tours inspired David and his wife to build a custom home. After interviewing several modern architects, they hired the award-winning Dean Noda. The house was built on a steep, vacant hillside lot in Southern California in 1993. It was designed, in part, to host concerts, jams, science salons, and other large gatherings. It is situated on a cul-de-sac next to the Angeles National Forest. Large open spaces were created, with rooms defined by geometry rather than by walls. An open kitchen and dining room allow guests to wander about unimpeded. Large window walls capture panoramic day views, and at night, the city lights. Windows facing the north capture mountain views. A catwalk connects the 2 sections of the upper floor. Although the house has 2 stories, the northern half is shifted upwards, resulting in 4 different floor elevations. The house took on a life of its own. It was featured in numerous architecture magazines and a few TV shows. David's house was also used in movies and commercials, bringing celebrities and directors such as Leonard Nimoy, Ed Asner, LL Cool J, Robert Altman, Zachary Quinto, and Ronda Rousey.
That concludes the presentation, but David plans to keep pursuing his interests and finding new ones, so stay tuned.